Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video and another episode of my MotoGP 18 Rider Career Mode. And today we are here for round number 15 out of 19 races, I believe, and getting towards the tail end of the season now. Today we are racing around the very brand new Thailand circuit at Buriram in Thailand, and overall we've gone pretty well here in the past in Moto 3 and Moto 2, so I'm hoping for more of the same, and hopefully we can have a good race weekend. We have only 4 more races after this, so we're getting towards the climax of the season, and as things stand, we're looking pretty good in the championship. No spoilers given. If you do want to see how we got to this point, you can check out the full playlist in the link down below in the description, or you can just check out the last episode, which was a very good episode for us. That's what I'm going to say by clicking the card in the top right hand corner of your screen. But now we're going to jump into this race at Thailand and kick things off with qualifying, and let's see if we can get ourselves into Q2, or will we go straight into Q1 like the last couple of races. Right, qualifying time here at Thailand. We're straight into Q2. We was the fastest in the dry conditions, which is very good news. We look very quick around here. However, full wet conditions is absolutely chucking it down here, so this could be pretty interesting as the qualifying session goes. Well, that was a bit of an interesting start. Already falling off here. This might take a couple of laps for me to really get to grips with. Just a bit wide there, not ideal, not the best line. We are up though on Dobby's time, it seems. Right, final corner. Lap times are dropping here. On the power, it's a pretty good lap. We go fastest, not quite. Just a fraction off Dobby's time, and literally, I mean a fraction, 7,000ths of a second. We miss apex for turn 1, get a little bit more, but we'll continue on here. It's all about circulating and trying to find lap time. That's very wide into the hairpin. I didn't even bother slowing that one down. Right, final corner. It's been a pretty good lap. Just got to make sure I straighten the bike up nicely. And there we go, up to the line. It's P1, 33.4 with 15 seconds to go. That could be the lap right there.
The cameras are accompanying us on a tour of their favourite riders for today's MotoGP race. We can't make predictions, but judging from the extremely competitive qualifying sessions, we're sure we're going to see a fantastic show.
Now you might be wondering how come I've just cut into the race. Well, I accidentally skipped the qualifying results, so I'll show you them now once we actually run through the grid, because even I didn't actually catch a glimpse. I pressed X because the game seemed to have lagged out, and by me pressing the X continue button it skipped the results basically. A bit of a weird glitch there, but nonetheless I think we're on pole. I didn't even catch the results myself, but I pretty much guess we're on pole position here. We're just going to jump into it. I'll leave you guys with the full grid rundown, and that way you'll see exactly what I'm waiting to see as well if we are on pole, and let's see who joins us on the front row. But anyway, wet conditions again, so I've got reason to be confident, but I'm going to have to work for it, as qualifying was pretty close, and I had to ultimately, only on my last lap I got the lap perfect. So with that in mind, it's going to be a challenging race, but I'm looking forward to it. Let's try and make it 2 wins out of 2 in a row. And without further ado, let's get into the Thailand Grand Prix.
warm-up lap has just finished and the riders have taken their places on the starting grid. The Thai Grand Prix is about to start.
Right then, let's get ready for the Thailand Grand Prix. 5 red lights are on and they are off, and we are underway here. It's not the best start, but it will do. Into turn 1, straight up the inside of Dobby here. Aggressive start, trying to respond to our poor launch, even though I'd say it wasn't that bad. We only really lost a position to Dobby, who got a phenomenal hole shot off of the line. But right now we're looking okay. Braking late for a hairpin for the first time this race. Turn 3 hairpin. I'll take a very different line to the AI through here, but I'm going to go wide on purpose to try and avoid having any contact. There's Viñales who's trying to make his way through. Now here comes Dobby. Look at that Ducati go. Incredible horsepower. We're going to go back up the inside though of the Italian man. I've got a lot of confidence on my bike and in these conditions, so I think we can have a good race here today. I just got to make sure I can maintain my lead as long as I can, or at least lose the least amount of time possible as we switch back underneath up the inside of Dobby there. He's going to switch back underneath me again now as we put the power down here. Can I go on the outside of turn 8? Is that possible? Yes, it is. We just hold on. He goes back up the inside again at turn 9. Trying to squeeze him as much as I can. Here comes Marquez. We're on the outside, inside line for the next corner. We've got to be careful here. We're running at a risk of falling off the bike. Alex Rins in P3. Fantastic start. Oh, that's close. Into the final corner, braking very early, very conservative. I've not got a lot of confidence through there, it has to be said. On the power though, drag race with the Suzuki of Alex Rins. And we're down to P4. After such a promising start, it just took a couple of bad corners and all our hard work was undone. Let's try and recover here and make up for lost ground and try and catch up to Marquez and Dobby and retake our lead. We made up a lot of ground into the hairpin, very nicely done. Marquez is now taking the Grand Prix ahead of Dobby, so the 2 usual suspects scrapping out for the race lead. We're pushing the limits of the grip into that corner, but I'm definitely confident in the braking and I feel like I can make a move here. I've got the inside of Dobby. He switches back underneath, but I'm going to go back underneath him again. Lovely little slice. Oh, extremely close to Marquez there. The slightest of taps. Very nice action so far here this race. Around the outside of Dobby again at turn 8. A little bit wide this time onto the curb. I want to try and get underneath Dobby at turn 9 if I can. And we have done. I'm going to close the door on the inside of turn 10. Get on the power. Through 11, the kink. Marquez gets a little bit wayward. I want to try and brake a little bit later this time into the final corner, be a little bit more brave. A little bit hot this time actually. But it's not too bad. We've recovered nicely onto lap number 3. And I'm going to guess we've set the fast up at the Grand Prix. That'd be my guess. Maybe not. So not even fast enough for a fast up at the Grand Prix just yet. But I'm sure we'll get there. Right now though, P2 looking good here. Marquez is going to be the next one. And I think it's going to be a fairly straightforward pass. Braking for the hairpin. Different lines, you know. It's very interesting to see what we do compared to the AI. On the power, a little bit too much of a wheelie. That extra engine power upgrade that we have for this episode definitely kicking in. And again, nice and close to Marquez here. Turn 8 again. Oh, it's a lovely little switchback, putting us on the inside for turn 9. Marquez defends beautifully, holding it around the outside. I'm going to try and cut back underneath. Turn 10 into turn 11, the kink. Oh, we're sliding all over the place, but we are going to get the momentum on Marquez up the inside at the final corner. Can we get it? Yes, we do. Marquez goes straight back underneath. It's a lovely little switchback, and he maintains the lead. The acceleration these guys get is unreal. We are lacking severe amounts of acceleration through turn 1. Oh, that could have been pretty disastrous there if we just survived the high side. Okay, this time we're pretty close as we go on to lap 5 here. Into turn 1, up the inside. It's very late in the day. We made it work, but we just can't get the front tyre down, and Marquez re-overtakes with the switchback. We are extremely close this time. We're going to take our usual line to the hairpin this time, really pushing the brake zone to the limit. very hot on the brakes. Switching back underneath, and there it is. Getting the momentum, third gear being the absolute key there to get the ultimate traction. MARQUEZ staying close, he's picking up the toe, he's going to try and get up the inside. However, I'm very good on the brakes into this left-hander of turn 4. A little bit wide through there, just a little bit too wide for comfort, but we managed to hold on. Turn 5 will be a little bit wide again, but we've managed to get it. I think we're now going to have track position, and we're now into the lead of the race once again. We've retaken our first place that we qualified in. We are flying around the circuit now, running in the low 33s, and no one can touch that race pace. Fires up at the Grand Prix, there we go. A little bit wide at the turn 1, I'm going to have to avoid the curve there. But we're looking good at the moment, pace is good. About 4 laps to go. This is looking very much under control now that we've settled into this race lead. Just starting to struggle a little bit now, tyres are going, rears especially are gone. And I'm just being a little bit too over the top now with these tyres, and I'm making a few mistakes. So I'm letting MARQUEZ back in here. Last lap of the race, it should be under control, but tyres are definitely not giving me the performance anymore. As you can see, I'm making mistakes. Running wide again at turn 1, not ideal at the moment. Right then, it's been a very good performance. Controlled, quality, dominant, good pace through the final corner, and we're going to win 2 races in a row, I think for the first time this season, and we win yet again at Thailand. A very good result. We're just getting ourselves back into mathematical contention for the championship here. I'm not sure where Dobby finished this race though, so let's find out and see where everything ended up.
Soon, cameras will take us to the podium to see the award ceremony. But in the meantime, let's take a look at the final ranking of the MotoGP class.
Ultimately, Dobby still got 3rd, so just like the last race, the same 1, 2, 3 with Rossi and P4 ahead of Viñales. So the result's pretty much no different to the last race. So that will mean for the Riders' Championship, the gap now down to 50 points to Dobby. So we have closed it down quite a bit. Still 2 race wins away though, with only 4 more races to go. It's going to be quite tight. MARQUEZ again, 2nd place. You know, he did that. He's pretty much limited the damage, and 12 points. It's going to be tricky. It's going to be very tricky. The good news is that we're pretty much mathematically safe now to finish at least in 3rd place, and Valentino's got a very steep hill to climb if he wants to try and catch me. In terms of the constructors, you can see that we are comfortably 3rd, pushing towards Honda a little bit and catching them up slowly. Finally though, in the team championship, you can see that we are pretty much 4th. That's where we're going to finish, realistically speaking. Nothing's going to change there. So overall, a very good episode for us. 2 wins on the bounce, and I think it's now time for some upgrades. Right, so we have 20,000, pretty much 21,000 points to spend. I'm going to go for another engine upgrade on the traction again to improve the acceleration of the bike, and that will arrive for the next race, which will be at Japan. So yeah, overall, very good episode. We still have Japan, Australia, Phillip Island, Malaysia and Valencia left. So 4 pretty hit and miss tracks for me, not my favourite ones. Valencia is the one that I quite enjoy. Phillip Island might have one of my all-time favourites, and then Malaysia and Japan not so much. So it's pretty much a 50-50 when it comes to the tracks. Our best chance, I think, is probably just to secure 2nd place and beat MARQUEZ. I don't think we can go for the championship, realistically speaking. But nonetheless, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode of the MotoGP Career Mode. If you have, then drop a like on the video. Also, do get subscribed for daily Formula 1 and MotoGP content. Turn on notifications to not miss a single upload from me. And finally, do check out these 2 videos on screen if you have missed them. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.